day, what a day, what a day. People, what's going on? Well, by for Mentourme.com, as you guys know, I'm always teaching you guys the truth about investing, winning, life. We're gonna have a great discussion tonight, man. It's something that I see a lot of us are constantly struggling with, man. And shouts out to everybody that's on Facebook. Miss Vivaz, what's going on? The realtor is in the building. Shouts out to everybody that's eventually going to see this live, that's going to get this pure knowledge and be able to embrace and teach others about financially winning. It's so amazing, man, to be so cool with so many different people. Like, I get a lot of people that call me, DM me. Lady Gray, what's going on? 55 in the building. Oh, man. And I'm so glad to see people growing. I'm so glad to see people trying to continuously elevate. And this conversation is really for a lot of you. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, everybody on IG, YouTube. Tonight, we're really talking about why is it important to test the market before you start, right? And I'm going to tell you why this particular topic is so important. Shout out to Shazar in the building, the young bull, the commercial bull. The kid is a young kid, and he's just amazing. It was a pleasure to have definitely worked by him and see such a young guy have so much drive. I meet some amazingly great people who want to grow, who want to elevate themselves. Tonight, we're talking about the importance of testing the market. As you guys know, I'm an entrepreneur and investor. I've got to a position of life to really give you guys my experiences of how I got to a seven-figure net worth. And of course, the importance of it is not to brag. It's to let you guys hear my journey, and maybe what I've gone through could really give you some gems to get you in the right path. I've learned a lot about us as human beings. We have a natural habit of not telling the truth about how life really works. And this topic here, what we're talking about tonight, the importance of testing the market before you start, really should help a lot of entrepreneurs, individuals who are starting their dream, their passion, maybe becoming a realtor, broker, starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur. This should really give you some great guidance in moving forward in your journey, because these are things a lot of us don't really take time to talk about. As you guys know, every Tuesday I talk about financial literacy, financial wealth, teaching you guys, of course, how to financially win. And of course, every Thursday I do more relationship slash life topics. Now, one of the things I always want to tell people before you start anything, man, we really need to understand the importance of doing your homework, right? Because here's the thing, we're so hungry to start. And a lot of us, when we're starting our journey to make money, to become whoever we're trying to become, the first thing is we're thinking in our mind is, I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money, I want to make money. The problem with that concept is you're so focused on the money, you forget the most important things to getting to the money, which is, did you do your homework? A lot of us don't understand the importance of due diligence when you're starting to invest into anything, when you're starting to grow into your business, when you're starting to do anything that you're trying to do. Have you done your due diligence? And here's what I'm really saying. Before you do anything, the whole concept of life is making sure there's proof in the concept. Proof in the concept of what you're trying to do. Because we're going to talk about a lot of different things today, and it's an open conversation. Feel free to put your comments below. It's very important to understand a lot of the conversations I'm talking about to really give you a depiction on where a lot of us are going wrong, and how can we fix that gap and really get us in the right position of life to elevate to that next level, right? Now, before we start anything, we're always in a world of I just want to make money. I get it. But here's the thing. Have you really thought about whatever you're doing, is it for you? Can it fit your lifestyle? Does it compensate you for the time you're investing into that line of entrepreneurship or line of venture that you're doing? Is it really a part of your journey? Is it really a line of your purpose? Because again, we got to really understand the biggest part about elevating in life is the mindset. And here's the things I really want you guys to understand when this live is over, is understanding that you don't have to start big. But what you should do is understand the importance of starting. A lot of us need to understand, we're going to first talk about the first thing. Let's talk about Airbnb. Let's start right there. There's this whole world right now. Everybody wants to be this Airbnb guru. Everybody wants to jump into Airbnb head first. Now, I come from an economic background. I have 3 degrees, and I'm also an individual who have tried a lot of things. I've lost a lot of money. I've invested into a lot of things, and I've learned a lot. And these experiences should really guide you. So we're going to talk about things that I see people wanting to invest into and how you could really take time to really readjust your approach to it to really benefit you long-term. Example, a lot of people now just want to buy a property and start Airbnb. Here's my problem with that. We're talking about reality right now. We're talking about today's market. We're talking about 5.6% interest rate. We're talking about home prices to the roof. Here's the problem, right? A lot of you, the first thing you want to do right now is just buy a property because you have good credit and just put yourself in debt for 30 years, not thinking about the fact that, hold on, if I'm going to be doing Airbnb, have I already done my due diligence? Do I really want to go in debt 30 years in a market that I don't understand yet because he or she say, somebody have told me that the Airbnb market is the most lucrative market to make money? Just because it works for that person, that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And there's the problem, right? Before you go put yourself in a 30-year mortgage, before you go put yourself in debt, why don't you test the market first? And this is what I'm really talking about tonight in a lot of different sectors in industry that a lot of us may invest into or are very aware of. Example, Airbnb, I get it. A lot of you are in this world, okay, I want to put myself in debt for 30 years. Have you thought about maybe, hold on, let me go rent out the property and sublease it and start my journey there. Here's what's beautiful about that. You get to touch and feel the market to understand pricing, structure, to understand, is this really working? Is it really where you want to be? Because what you're doing is trying to understand how to master the concept before you go all in. A lot of you don't understand the importance of sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. You just want to jump in. Go put yourself in debt. You don't know, you haven't done the due diligence. Okay, how much can I get per day? What are Airbnb fees? Okay, what is the maintenance fees? People, at the end of the day, how am I, should I do it on a 3-day stretch, 4-day stretch? What city should I invest into? Why don't you test the market first? By, of course, testing in the market simply could be, okay, well, let me go sublease, rent the property, sublease it out to tenants, whatever the case may be, people who want to Airbnb my property. 3-4 days. Now, here's what's good about that. You don't own the property. So the debt is not in your name. You're just leveraging. See, a lot of us, I'm always talking about this in life, learning to control but not own. You don't always need to own everything. We all have this new mindset that I'm hearing a lot, this boss, CEO mentality. At the end of the day, true CEOs, as you guys may call them, know how to leverage, know how to control without owning. So I always tell people before you get into something, example like an Airbnb, why don't you test Airbnb by, of course, renting Airbnb or subleasing it, testing the market, see if it's making you the money that people are saying it's making or whatever's making you want to jump into this market. And then after you have done it for maybe 6 months to a year and you see the flow of it, from there, maybe it'll be a great idea to maybe start from there buying a property. But a lot of you don't even think about that. You don't do your due diligence, what area, demographics, population growth, rental demand. All you care about is, well, they say they're making a lot of money. I want to make a lot of money too. And this is such a problem in our culture today. We as people, we don't take time to do our homework and really evaluate the project as a whole. People, it's okay in life to start small, testing the concept to see if it works. Shouts out to Corey. I see some comments already. Shouts out. Was probably Corey. Now, if you think about it, right, a lot of us were also talking about the whole world of what we call Turo. Turo is renting vehicles. I get it. You rent a luxury vehicle. You rent a vehicle, period. It's not even a luxury vehicle. You're renting a vehicle that's high in demand. And of course, you're going to rent it out per day basis, sometimes on a 3-day stretch basis, and you're going to make profits. Here's my thing. Why are some of you just going right into a Range Rover? Some people are just jumping right into a Land Rover. You haven't even tested to see how this thing works, what insurance costs are, what are your fixed costs per month, which car works. All you heard is somebody said they got a Range Rover or 2 Range Rovers and everything. Go that statement, I'm making a whole bunch of money. Here's the problem with this world. Once we hear that statement, I'm making a whole bunch of money, we just get so excited. But you never ask this question to people. Compared to who? When people say, I'm making a whole bunch of money, compared to who? Have you really took time to understand what is their version of a whole bunch of money compared to what's your version of a whole bunch of money? Because you got to understand, a person could be making $500 a month, or I'm making a whole bunch of money. And then some of you just jump into these activities without even really proving or testing the concept or really asking the right questions. Oh, this person making a whole bunch of money. What is a whole bunch of money? To that person, maybe not be a whole bunch of money to you. Because I've heard people saying they're doing Turo and they're making, here you go, they're making buku bucks. They're making so much money. And then when you hear, okay, well, monetary wise, like, tell me how much money you making? I'm making like 800. $800. So you're renting cars on a 30-day stretch, maybe vacant maybe 20% of the time, constant maybe maintenancing, managing the app, managing people maybe on a 20-day stretch out of the 30 for $800. For some of us, that is a lot of work for $800. For some of us, wow, that's amazing that this person gets to manage an app, rent his car out, and make so much money, $800. See, everybody needs to start to really think about what is so much money. This so much money concept has been thrown around for decades. Everybody has their own version of so much money, and this is such a problem because when you're vulnerable in this world and you're trying to figure out how to make some money, anything a person tells you, you listen. Oh my God, this person making so much money. Before you go put yourself in debt, go buy a Range Rover, Land Rover, a G-Wagon, whatever the case is, go put yourself in debt because you heard somebody saying they're making so much money in a Turo app. Why don't you buy a cheaper car just to test the market? Preferably, even if you buy a car cash, maybe $5,000, $10,000, just to test the market, to see if it's really what they say it is, to see if it's really what the revenue is or the net dollar that you're really trying to make, to just test the market. Before you dive headfirst, go put yourself in debt for $100,000, $80,000, $150,000. Test the market. People, it's okay to crawl before you walk, just to feel the market. Well, a lot of us are not really taught this. You don't hear people talk about this in school, learning how to test the market. We just love to dive in without any type of, crawling before we get into the market. Another thing I see a lot about, okay, cool. This is something I preach about, but I'm also going to contradict it tonight. I'm always telling people the importance of buying a home, but I always make sure I put at the end of it, people buy a home when it makes sense. The reason I always say that buy a home when it makes sense, because before you invest 30 years of your life paying a mortgage, which is what 95% of people do, because some people never pay the mortgage off, and by the time they do pay it off, they're probably 70 years old. You got to really ask yourself a couple questions. Managing a home is a lot. I'm gonna tell you. I'm 35 years old. My first home I bought when I was like 23. And again, yesterday alone, my washing machine just automatically went out of nowhere. 2 months ago, I had to put a new roof for maybe $40,000. I put a new garage door maybe 3 months ago. That was maybe $5,000. I just repaved the driveway. That was another like $8,000. People, before you rush into buying a home, why don't you test out maybe a condo? Why don't you test out maybe a townhouse? Because again, these type of homes, condos and townhouses have something called association, where you're going to pay a monthly fee where the HOA, which is pretty much a body who governs the environment or the society that you live in, will pay for your maintenance. And this is so important. They pay for your roof. They pay sometimes for your cable. They pay sometimes also for your landscaping. This is an easier way for you to maintenance yourself before you dive in to a 30-year mortgage, a 30-year home that will defeat you sometimes if you do not know how to manage money. A lot of you don't understand how important it is to not just dive in a home unless you are ready. And the reason I'm talking about it is because we're always programmed to just dive in everything head first. People, it's okay to sometimes test the market. Start with a condo. Have some HOA. Why? Because the HOA is going to help you maintenance yourself better because they take care of all the maintenance. Maybe get a townhouse. Test the market first before you dive into a home where you got to fix everything. Plumbing is old. Roof just went out. Garage, this is leaking. That is broken. People, a lot of you put yourself in financial struggles of life because you sometimes don't take time to crawl before you walk. Test the waters. And that's what I really want you guys to understand. Learn to experiment before you go into the main event. A lot of you have this thing, you're so ready to just go big. Another problem I see a lot. You're starting a business. It's time to sign a lease because you're about to get a location, whatever business you have. Why don't you do a month to month? Why don't you do a 1-year lease before you jump in a 5 or 10-year lease? People, landlords are here to sell you. Okay, I don't know if you guys understand this by now. People, it's everything is a business. You're starting a business, you don't know where your business is going to go. So why jump into a 5-year lease, 10-year lease? Start maybe a 1-year lease. Start maybe a 2-year lease. Start preferably a month to month to just feel your business. Because at the end of the day, if the business doesn't work or doesn't go as planned, you could always remove yourself from that situation and still survive and be financially stable. But a lot of you're letting people that don't understand the importance of crawling dictate your decisions. You'll go right into a brick and mortar. You're just starting your business. You don't even know what's going to work, what's not going to work. All right, yeah, let me just go sign an 8-year lease. Do you understand the only person who won in that particular situation is the landlord of the plaza, the landlord of the building, the landlord of whatever the case, the commercial warehouse? At the end of the day, you didn't win unless you pray that that business 100 fulfill your fantasy of what you're looking for when it comes to, of course, compensation. But that's why I'm always telling people, before you start a business, take your time, go month to month, try a 1-year lease, maybe a 2-year lease. Don't go so aggressive. Crawl before you walk, because a lot of us, the reason we're starving sometimes after we started a business, or we're hurting ourselves, we don't like to start small. We just want to go all in. It's just like in school. I've learned in life, it's imperative to be a student. In life, it's okay to learn from other people. It's okay to be a student for a moment. You got your skill, you got your license in whatever you have your license in, real estate, I don't know, cosmetology, your electrician, your AC tech, whatever the case may be. People, why don't you go work for somebody first? Feel the market. See their weaknesses. See what you could do better. Stack up some money. Save some money before you just jump in. A lot of you have this mindset. You're just ready to just put it all on the table. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. And that's the video I did the other day. It's okay in life to start small, to just see how the market is moving before you go so big. Just to feel what's going on. Shout out to everybody that's on this live. Martha the Boss was popping. We're talking tonight, people, the importance of starting small. We're so stuck in this mindset of life. We're so ready to just put everything on the table. Before you start these big projects, why don't you start small? We spoke about Airbnb, of course, not owning, subleasing first. We spoke about Turo. Instead of renting a Range Rover, why don't you try to rent a different car that's $10,000, $5,000, just to see how the market moves, just to see how the app works. We talked about the importance of, before you own a house, why don't you try a townhouse? Why don't you just, of course, maintenance that and leverage that? Because again, at the end of the day, with a townhouse, you have HOA. The HOA takes care of maintenance, roof, outside structure. It benefits you a little bit before you come into this world of home ownership where everything is on you. That roof block, that's on you. Like yesterday, my washing machine went out, that's on me. Today, I had to spend $2,000 this morning. That's just how it goes. At the end of the day, I need to wash my clothes. What do you do? Complain? It is what it is, people. And this is the problem with a lot of us. We don't like to start small. You're starting a business. You're about to get your first location. If you're going brick and mortar, why don't you do a month-to-month lease, a 1-year lease, a 2-year lease max, to feel the market out before you jump into and go into 8-year lease, 5-year lease, 10. You don't know what's going to happen 5 to 10 years from now. You don't know how the world could change. Nobody knew COVID was going to happen. This is a perfect example. Look how COVID shifted the dynamics of life, where a lot of people lost their jobs, lost their businesses. Some people lost so many clients because their business actually got demolished. Because why? The fixed cost was eating them alive. It hurt their bottom dollar. So now they couldn't be profitable anymore. They had to shut the business down and get rid of employees. Look what's happening right now with mortgage lenders. Mortgage lenders hired so many individuals because, again, when interest rates were so low, they couldn't keep up with demand. Now interest rates is back to being high. Here's what's happening. Companies already firing workers left. MLOs, mortgage lender originators, left to right. One company just fired 300 MLOs in one day. Because why? Interest rates have increased. They moved and scaled so big, so quick. Now, interest rates being at 5.5, 5.6, 5.8, 6%, it's a problem. The main thing tonight is really having you guys understand the importance of not starting big all the time. The important key is to start. That's one thing you definitely want to do when you're ready. But you don't always have to start so big. I want to also talk about, again, like, as you guys know, I'm a stock trader. I'm an investor. I'm also an investor in crypto. You guys know, or some of you may not know, there's something called paper trading. And anybody I sit down with, anybody that booked me, I always tell them, before you start trading in the market, I always believe in education. They take an education webinar with me, or they invest into my online stock trading webinar. And then from there, I always tell them, before you really put your dollars in, why don't you start paper trading? Paper trading is trading with fake money, but real time. A lot of platforms have paper trading. Webull does, TD Ameritrade does. So many platforms have paper trading, which is using fake money, but you're trading in real time. So you have nothing to lose, but so much to gain. So at least you're testing, here we go again, you're testing the market. You're seeing what would have happened if you would have tried it. But a lot of you, the first thing you do, you're just so ready to just put your money in without really knowing what you're doing, and then you lose it all. And this goes in a lot of different industries, a lot of different sectors. Think about this, right? We have a world, and I'm a realist. We have a world where the exotic industry of dancing has become very popular. We got to be honest, right? If you really think about it, it's like a dancer going into the nightlife. Sometimes I would wonder if you ask yourself, right? Is it better to be a bartender, a server? Is it smart to start there, kind of fill the market out? But then, okay, well, maybe if it's better for you to transition into dancing, I guess that might be the best option. But people, it works in every sector of life if you really think about it. Why are you always trying to just go all in? Test the market first and see how it works. It's like, for example, I'm a realtor. My thing is always work for people first. I remember I was looking for Kais. Some people call it keys. And what I did was I was able to see structure. I was able to see how they do lead generation. I was able to understand how they conduct a business. And then when I was ready, I pulled myself away. And then I asked myself, do I want to be a broker? Because I can be a broker if I want. Or do I prefer just to put myself in a position and just stay as a realtor, which I'm a commercial realtor now, and just leverage there without as much stress as some people may have being a broker. So these are the things a lot of us have to understand in life. In life, you don't have to start big, but it's imperative you start somewhere. But when you're starting, you don't have to always have the biggest grand opening. You don't always have to put everything on the line. It's like if you're starting a cookie company, test the cookies. Let people test the cookies on a small scale. See how it goes for a moment. People, test your market. When you're doing anything in life, you're trying to grow your life, you're trying to invest into your life, test it first. Because sometimes you guys jump into things that you're not ready for. I love when I meet clients and they say, man, I wish I had high-end clients like you. Well, here's the thing. High-end clients come with pros and cons. High-end clients love to sue. High-end clients are very picky. High-end clients take time to evolve and understand. High-end clients also have a level of openness that they don't let you break through until they really trust you. So before you tap into high-end clients, you need to master regular clients. Clients that's a little bit more user-friendly, that may not probably don't make as much money as the high-end client, based on whatever industry you're in. Learn to master your base client first. Then start to elevate yourself into the high-end clients, because a lot of us have this thing, I can't wait to get my high-end clients in whatever businesses that I do. But I'm going to be honest with you. I have a lot of high-end clients. Some of them, they're amazing, and some of them, I'm going to be honest, they're very difficult to deal with. And a lot of you don't understand how much you're not ready for that level yet unless you have mastered your base clients first. Everybody wants to be a chief. Nobody wants to be an Indian. Everybody wants to get to the top, but they don't want to go through the process of getting to the top. My thing is with people, no matter what you're investing into, no matter what you're growing to be in life, always start small first. Test the market. Understand your market. Do your due diligence. Learn yourself, learn your target market, learn who you want to be, learn where you're trying to get to before you just jump over this crawling stage and jump into the main event. And sometimes you do that and hurt yourself. I've seen many people just jump into things they're not ready for and hurt themselves so badly because you were never prepared. But you were so excited to, here we go, make the money. Or you heard somebody say, this person makes so much money. What is so much money? I love when people say that. This person makes so much money. Their so much money and your so much money is not the same so much money. You got to understand everybody's perspective on so much money is so different. And the reason I'm doing this live, I want you guys to understand the importance of you don't always have to start big. But what is important is the fact that you started. That's all I'm saying. Start small. We talked about Airbnb. You don't have to own a property. Sublease it. We talked about Turo. You don't have to do a Range Rover. Start with maybe a Toyota Tacoma. Start in a lane that somebody else don't want to do, something cheaper. You don't always have to own a house. Start with a condo. Start with a townhouse where HOA takes care of all the maintenance before you eventually invest 30 years of your life in owning a home. You starting a business somewhere, instead of doing a 5-year lease, start month to month. Test the market out. See how you like it. A lot of us, again, if you told me, okay, well, I'm going to charge you extra $200 a rent to do month to month instead of doing 3-year leases, okay, let me pay the extra $200. Let me test the market. Let me see if this is going to work for me. Let me see if this is really what I want to do. If this is really the area I need to be in. Test, learn your due diligence, learn your demographics, learn your target market. It's okay to start small. It's okay to be a student. A lot of us as grown adults, we don't want to be students. We just always want to be that chief, that El Jefe, that boss. It's okay to just start small. You don't have nothing to prove to anybody. I've learned in life, I got out of that mindset. I don't care what somebody says about me. I'm going to be honest. We're all human. Yeah, I have emotion. But at the end of the day, as long as I started and it makes sense to me, that's what matters. Because sometimes I meet a lot of people right now, they're in businesses that they're struggling because they just won't do the opposite, which is downsize. We're going to talk about that. When is a good time to downsize? You don't always have to have the 2022 BMW. Why don't you downsize? You don't always have to have the biggest store. Why don't you downsize if a smaller location still could, of course, give you the productivity that you need? You don't always have to, of course, buy 5,000 shares of a stock. Why don't you start buying maybe 100 at a time every 2-3 months? It's okay to take your time and grow to be great. People, this is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. Shout out to all of you, man. All the love. Appreciate everybody that's in my DM. We're going to have a great topic also this Thursday, man. I can't wait for the relationship topic / life topic. We're going to be talking about, as you guys know, Kevin Sandman has passed away. That's my guy. He's a funny character. But again, there's a lot of truth to him. But at the same time, we're hearing a lot of rumors when it comes to, of course, the world of estate planning. Is it true to believe that his estate wasn't in order? And, you know, my thing is a lot of us are not talked about. We're not taught how to manage estate planning. What is estate planning? I'm going to be talking a lot about that this Thursday. Teaching you guys, again, estate planning, how to manage your assets. What could Kevin have done differently? Again, we don't know if it's true or not, but again, this is a rumor. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are living in this world not taking time to add beneficiaries to their bank account, not understanding if you have an LLC, you should have signers on your LLC, not understanding what a trust is, what a will is, what a revocable trust is. A lot of us don't take time to understand estate planning. And this is why we're in situations we don't know what a land trust is. We don't know a lot of things about estate planning. And when we pass away early, we don't know when's our last day. We're financially struggling. We're going to talk about that this Thursday. I want to talk a little bit about estate planning to you guys. This is a topic that some people may find boring. It's okay. Boring is the knowledge that a lot of us need. Everything doesn't always need to be fun. But as long as you're growing and learning, because here's the honest truth, a lot of us right now own homes, don't have a trust. Own homes, don't have a will. Have kids, but don't have life insurance. A lot of us don't understand. You get sued right now, you don't know what to do. You probably lose everything. You're not even protected. You don't understand how to protect your assets. Because again, nobody exposed you to the importance of estate planning. People, this thing is so important. How do you keep yourself from probate in different positions of life? How does all of this work? How do you grow and win? It's not just about investing and making money. It's also about protecting all the things that you work hard for. In life, I've learned Knowledge is so imperative. It's so powerful if you know knowledge. In this world, we're always taught to just simply invest, right? Some of us save money. Some of us spend money. But who's teaching you how to protect your investments? Have you updated all your bank accounts recently to see if there's beneficiaries in your bank accounts, checking accounts, saving accounts? Some of us don't even have bank accounts. We're using Cash App, which is embarrassing. People, when are we going to get smarter? When are we going to get wiser? Shout out to all of you who are doing the right things in life, doing very well for yourself, managing your money a lot, and you're doing very good for the future of your life. Actually, next month, too, I'm doing a money management course, and I made it very affordable so a lot of people could, of course, benefit themselves. I made it for $39 next month. The flyer should be out maybe Monday. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to manage your money because this is such a big problem in the community today. A lot of us don't understand the importance of managing our money. How do you manage your money? What is the estate planning? When do you invest? Why should you invest? As you guys know, tonight's topic is understanding the importance of starting small. It's okay. It's okay to start small. You don't have to start big. But as long as you started, that's what's important, people. A lot of Natalie, what's going on? Kingdom Glow is in the building. People, this young lady here has started from the bottom. I sat down with her at I think Bar Louie and gave her a lot of gems, and man, she booked a session, and her and her sister, and I'm so proud to see where they're at today. Years later, they're just glowing. Shouts out to you ladies for listening and investing into me. I'm proud of you guys doing your makeup industry and just really doing your thing, man. And just constantly keep growing, man. Keep going to the top, ladies. People in life is all about being smart. Tonight we talked about the importance of just being great. The importance of understanding that you don't have to be big to be great. You can start small. Don't let nobody judge you. Don't let nobody say that you have to prove something. You don't have to validate anything. Just learn in life, just be great. Start somewhere, start small, stay consistent, keep the stamina strong, and just learn that in life, your experiences, your journey, and that's how you're going to always grow in life and be great. This is your boy from Mentourme.com. I love you all. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate everybody that's on IG, Facebook, YouTube. Shout out to all my supporters. Everybody that's in my DM every single day. Actually, the person I had 2 people put like goddamn maybe 6, like 2-3 paragraphs. I'm gonna read that tomorrow. Love you all. Shouts out to all of you who book me for shows, book me for one-on-ones. If you haven't booked a one-on-one, definitely highly recommend you invest into yourself and book a session to learn how to be great, how to manage your money, how to better your life, and financially grow yourself to the next level of life. This is your boy from Mentourme.com. You guys enjoy yourself. Peace. I'll see you guys Thursday night. Hey, Natalie, what's popping? What's popping? What's popping?